Hi, Mark again at Physical of Eversville, and I have my friend Cyclops today, the kettlebell with a face. And what we're going to talk about is the core. That seems to be the big buzzword nowadays. I'm not sure what the core is. A lot of people talk about it like they know what it is, but there's so many definitions of it. So we're just going to simply call the core from basically underneath your shoulder joints to the top of your hip joints. Just for the sake of this. If you don't agree, don't email me. So, with that in mind, what you want to think about is the core. When you train that, it is supposed to be trained for stability, meaning you don't round your back. You aren't training the abdominals or the back muscles for movement. You're training them for endurance. They aren't strength muscles, they're endurance muscles. So you want to train them to be endurance and to keep your body stable. With that, then, that allows you to move through the shoulder and hip joint. If you stop and think about it, that only makes sense because what are the two most mobile joints in the body? Shoulder and hip. They're designed for movement, but they can't operate well unless they're off of a stable base, and that's what the core has to provide. So if you think about your body wrapped real tight in a barrel, everything is locked in tight. You can do shoulder movements, arm movements. You can do leg movements with your foot on or off the ground, but you've got a stable base to work from. Without a stable base to work from, it's like shooting a cannon off a canoe. It's like the feeling you get when you're walking down the beach on the sandy beach. It might look good, but it fatigues you quicker because you don't have that stability. So you need to be stable when you move. So what that means is crunches, sit-ups are not good exercises for the core or for the trunk. Stabilization type exercises where you don't move are the type of exercises to do. Sit-ups typically are done anyway because people think they're going to take fat off their midsection, which will never happen. So you're not going to train the core with sit-ups because that also puts a lot of stress on the lower back and can lead to low back pain. So you want to train them to be stable. That's how they function. The only time you ever would use your abdominals to pull yourself up is if you're laying on your back, doing a sit-up position to get out of bed, which is extremely hard on your back, and if you had back pain already, you couldn't do it that way. So you don't want to be doing it that way anyway. So keep in mind when you're going to a gym that you want to keep the midsection, so the whole trunk area, your barrel if you will, stable. Train the arms, train the legs below that. Okay? If you have any questions, contact us at physicalofersville.com.